Public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshIIP.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. They are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
This is Adam Gold.
Please let the coach and GM pick this year.
Right.
And they put this on the sign outside of the restaurant, and I guess David Tepper actually went inside this restaurant.
Do you know that there is security video of that visit?
Wow.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We'll get back to the U.S. Open in just a couple of minutes. I do want to follow through on a tease, though. The about face I was referencing when we went to our last commercial break is the fact that, remember, right before the PGA Championship, when Rory McIlroy had announced that he and his wife were getting divorced? Well, they are not. They have reconciled. They are getting back together.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, isn't that very nice? 3-year-old daughter. So good for the couple. Whatever was plaguing the marriage before.
He just needed to do some karaoke, apparently. That's all he needed to do. Loosen him up a little, and he's good.
Maybe that was it. My gosh. All right. So sad day. We lost 2 legends connected to basketball. One entirely about basketball, and the other just connected to Duke University. Let's start with the fact that Jerry West passed away today at the age of 86. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN on just what the logo meant to the NBA.
Jerry West is as important of a figure in NBA history as any I can think of. I don't think there's another individual who did so many things so well in almost every element of NBA and basketball life, as a player, as a coach, as an executive, a dynasty builder, and he's the logo.
Yes, the NBA the logo the NBA uses is Jerry West's silhouette. So that's why he is called the logo. Nobody's going to tell you that Jerry West is the greatest NBA player ever, because he's not. And when you make a list even of the top 10 or even 15 players, I mean, Jerry West might not be on it. But he was the logo. And I said this earlier. West was as great a player as he was a Hall of Famer also as an executive. Not only did he build the Lakers, but he had his hands on a lot of other teams, a lot of other organizations as well. Stephen A. Smith remembers him.
First time I had a conversation with him, and that was when our relationship really took off, because he heard me saying that Michael Jordan the silhouette should be changed to Michael Jordan from him. And he wasn't calling to refute it. He was calling because he felt like I sounded like it's something he would refute. And he was saying, absolutely not. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest. I think he deserves it. Of course.
They haven't changed it yet, though, and I'm not sure they will, and I'm not sure they should. It's fine. The NBA logo is fine the way it is. It is nothing against any particular player. There's no reason to change the logo. If we get a player who's better than Michael, and maybe I could argue that we already have, do we change it to LeBron? Do we change it to the next? It doesn't really matter. But it is a cool story from Stephen A. PJ Carlissimo, friend of the program, former coach at Seton Hall, assistant in the NBA for a long time, former coach of the Portland Trail Blazers as well, now a broadcaster on Jerry West.
I got a chance to see him play an awful lot. When I was in college, I was at some of those Los Angeles, New York games when the Knicks won the 2 championships. And, I just grew up. That was a guy that I was a guard. He was so special. I mean, that was Zeke from Cabin Creek, and he made more big shots late in the game and just appeared effortlessly. What a great player he was, and what a great administrator in the league for a lot of years. And I was lucky enough to get to know the man, but I mean, he was really special. And the fact that, we called him the logo for so many years, and it was true. He was that important, and you're talking literally one of the best to ever play the game.
There's no question about it. Again, he built the Lakers dynasty of the 80s. Eventually turned the team over to Mitch Kupchak, and they won titles too. But West, for a long, long time, had his fingerprints all over constructing Laker championship teams. And again, Hall of Famer as an executive as well as a player. So the NBA loses a huge part of their history when he passes away. By the way, here's something else underrated for Jerry West. If you remember the very first LeBron James commercial, the Nike commercial, The Chosen One. So it takes place in a church, right? Bernie Mac is leading the service as they are anointing the chosen one, LeBron James. In the front, I guess the front pew, not being a churchgoer, they're called pews, right? In the front pew, it's Julius Erving. It might have been Moses Malone and Jerry West, essentially like cheering on with the congregation because, they knew what LeBron was. So do a Google search, watch that commercial, see Jerry West in the front row of that. All right, the other bit of sad news today is the passing of longtime Duke play-by-play voice Bob Harris. At one point did 450 some odd consecutive Duke football games or something like that. It's crazy. Like, he missed basketball games to do Duke football games. Think about that for a second. He was the voice of Duke men's basketball and football for more than 40 years. He passed away today after a 3-year battle with Alzheimer's disease. And who will ever forget this?
Bobby Hurley up the floor with Leitner. They throw it the length of the floor. Leitner catches, comes down, dribbles, shoots, scores! Christian Leitner has hit the bucket at the buzzer. The Blue Devils win it, 104 to 103. Look out, Minneapolis! Here come the Blue Devils.
It's just an incredible moment. It was a great play-by-play call, and Duke went on to win the national championship. Of course, that was in the regional final against Kentucky. I mean, it's on the short list of the best NCAA tournament games that have ever been played. It's on the short list of best college basketball games that have ever been played. I know we've got State over Maryland, what was in an overtime game, 103-100 back in the 70s. I think it was 74. But the way Duke and Kentucky just kept delivering haymakers to each other, I mean, it's on the shortest of possible lists of the greatest games of all time. Bob Harris passed away today, 3-year battle with Alzheimer's, and that's, man, those are diseases that impact others more than they impact the people afflicted. Because the people who are afflicted, they don't even realize it. But for the people who are their loved ones, just crushing. Our hearts go out to his wife, Phyllis. She was at his side when he passed away today. When I moved down here in 98. So I've been here 26 years. Bob Harris, legend. Woody Durham, legend. Jeff Charles, legend. Gary Hahn, who just retired, was, I guess, relatively early, certainly relative to Bob Harris and Woody Durham, early in his Wolfpack career. But, I mean, think about how absolutely blessed we have been as sports fans, especially for those of us who didn't have a natural interest in whoever the team was. If you, like so many of us, moved here from somewhere else, you just got to experience, man, I get to listen to Woody Durham. I get to listen to Bob Harris. I get to listen to Gary Hahn, Jeff Charles. I mean, all absolute legends of broadcasting. And it's just a sad day for the Duke community. Bob had been really sick for a long time, so our hearts go out to Phyllis, the Harris family, the Duke community, and everybody who was touched. Really, the ACC community, everybody who was touched by Bob Harris and his career. All right, when we come back next hour, we'll get back into the U.S. Open. A lot of times we talk college football with Chip Patterson, but he's here. So we're going to talk just golf. We're going to make picks. We're going to talk about the course. I'm going to tell you why I love the U.S. Open more than every other major. And it's exactly the reason why so many of you love the Masters. It's the opposite of that, because I think the U.S. Open is the better major, although all the majors are amazing. Chip Patterson will join us next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here, and I'm going to try and help you streamline your life. We all like to become more time efficient. I am always forgetting stuff when I run out of the house. Wouldn't you like to be more on top of it? Let me help you out. Why not go to Travers LASIK and Dr. Lori Travers, the Triangle's only LASIK specialist, and streamline your day-to-day? Make sure that you don't have to worry about, hey, where are my glasses? Where are my contact lenses? Let's get rid of all that stuff. Get rid of everything involved. The lenses, the cleaning, the trips to the store, the replacement lenses and glasses, and the cost that comes with them. So how about we hit up Travers LASIK? Let Dr. Lori work her magic on you, 5 minutes per eye. You could go back to work the very next day. Plus, they're offering $1,000 off, 0% financing for qualified customers. Just go to TraversLASIK.com because the consultation is free. Let's find out. 919-510-6830. Travers LASIK.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's here. The Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month. Rebates up to $8,000 plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3. Only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attention soccer fans. North Carolina FC invites you to be part of the excitement. Join us in our electrifying games with top-tier players, thrilling goals, and unforgettable moments. Experience the thrill of this beautiful game with North Carolina FC. Get your tickets now, northcarolinafc.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Xander Schauffele, the U.S. Open has been his best major championship. I believe 7 or 8 career starts. So he's been right there every single time he's played one of these. I'm a big believer in once you play well at USGA Championship, you tend to play well at them year after year for the most part. And so I think he's absolutely going to be a factor this week as well. To give you somebody that I don't like, and I'll pick out Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
I think that there's a little something there that's not quite right now. But he's not playing as well as he was at the Zurich and at Quail Hollow before the PGA Championship, where he won both of those events.
That was Jason Sobel from MGM yesterday. He joined us to talk U.S. Open. And we are here at Pinehurst number 2. We're in the media center, although we were supposed to be everywhere else today. Chip Patterson. Normally I talk to a camera.
Right, and I look at a camera.
And we're sort of now we're doing the same thing now. But it's good to see you here. We're just going to talk golf. We're going to leave football alone because it's June. We should not have to talk football in June.
The real Florida State freedom conspiracy theorists have said it's too quiet on the Tallahassee front, so you know something's bubbling. And I was like, do you know why it's quiet? Vacation. Because like last week when I was on vacation and other times, this is the time in college sports to take a vacation.
It's funny. Wes Moore, the basketball coach at NC State, I texted him about Caitlin Clark. I just wanted his opinion on Caitlin Clark. And he goes, I don't know what's going on. I'm at the beach.
I did see him get to welcome back. They welcomed back he was part of welcoming back the baseball team,
yes,
right?
He's back now.
He's back now. But yeah, that's why it's quiet. So more than happy and so excited to be here. I mean,
tremendous.
10 years ago we were both here, and so to be able to come back, I'm fired up for the week.
You are a native of the Triangle.
Correct.
Your folks, they either live here, down here now, or they have a place here.
They have a place here.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that this would be such a home base, an anchor site for the USGA or any organization?
No, and this is where, I do think that
the natives mad?
I think it was really intentional, and this has been in the works. I think that what they saw with the renovation in 2011, hosting the event in 2014, it was as though light bulbs went off.
Yeah.
And they realized the attractiveness of Pinehurst and the Village and the golf to the American golf public and to make things more public. And you even think about how Pinehurst Country Club used to be more country club, and now I think it is more resort and country club. You think about the Deuce, you think about Thistledew, the putting green, the Cradle, all these creations are not meant to be stuffy, transfusions flowing everywhere. They are not meant to be exclusive. The barrier for entry is just get your body to Pinehurst, and then you can live all of your wildest Pinehurst golf dreams. And so I don't know exactly where the credit goes there, but having come down here as often as I have with my family, that is the thing that I've seen. And I do tie it back to sort of everything that happened leading up to the 14 U.S. Open, and then them just realizing exactly how many people really treasure this place. And now we're going to have it, every 5, 6, 7
10
years.
minutes.
Yeah.
We've got 5 scheduled out, including this one through 47.
Right.
So it's essentially becoming St. Andrews. That's what it is. St. Andrews basically is every 5th year in the Open Championship Rota.
Right.
And we're pretty close to that now.
It's either 5 or 6, basically, the rest of the way.
I mean, that it's more frequently than Pebble, right? We're going to the U.S. Open, Pinehurst will pass Pebble Beach soon. I mean, it's got a long way to go to get some of the others, but it gave everybody a head start, and it's going to catch up quickly.
And look, there is some stuff that still reminds me of before everything exploded. I got married here in Pinehurst.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, we were Village Chapel for the ceremony, and then here at the Country Club for the reception. And after both Friday and Saturday nights, everybody went to the Pinecrest Inn.
Sure.
And you can still walk into I was talking to Kyle Porter from CBS Sports, and he was saying last night he was like, the Pinecrest Inn, that place is cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that place has not changed in all the best ways. And so, I mentioned all of the things that they've done to, make themselves more attractive to a modern, younger golf public, but you still got the old stuff too.
The Holly Inn. I've stayed at the Holly Inn before. The restaurant is great. The lounge is awesome. It's a great place, man. If you love golf.
Let's talk about the golf.
We should talk about golf.
We've done all this free advertising for Moore County and the Village of Pinehurst.
Honestly, that's everybody who's a golf fan, and I tried to convey this at the beginning. They should be proud.
Yes.
That this is an enormous event.
Right.
And it's always seemed almost exclusive to places like Pebble Beach. And that's not a bad thing, but man, it's right here.
And the group that has shown up is here. On Monday, the practice round galleries looked bigger than they did on Sunday at LACC.
Yes.
It's a different feel around here.
All right, let's get to it's Scotty Scheffler's tournament, correct?
You have to approach if Scotty, and then if not Scotty, then who? That's the very first question when you're going to think about who's going to win this tournament. First, the if Scotty, the reasons why you would buy into it. There was
still plus 280, by the way.
Is that at FanDuel Sportsbook? Make every moment more.
Yes, as a matter of fact, plus 280.
Yeah, so I think that his short game is overlooked and underrated. I think that
I don't know why anybody would overlook or underrate it. He's not an amazing putter, but he doesn't have to be.
And that's where I think about some of the conversations that you hear between him and Ted Scott, and everything is about minimizing mistakes, and being successful at Pinehurst is about minimizing mistakes.
Right.
I was out there. Scotty was playing with JT, and I was watching all the different places around the par 3 6th. Looking at
I hate that hole.
Looking at all the different places where they could land if they are not going to hold it, and then developing their game plan for what they're going to be. And everything is just about just give yourself a decent par putt, and minimize the mistakes. You are going to take bogeys. And then, statistically anywhere, he's one of the best on PGA Tour this season in the bounce back statistic.
Yes.
You follow a bogey. He follows a bogey with a birdie, I think 51% of the time.
That's gross.
That's incredible.
That's gross.
So everyone wants to do with their round is have the bounce
and
back.
he doesn't make a lot of bogeys. He's had, what is it now, 3 over par rounds this year? Is it 3? 3, yeah, because he won with an over par round.
Right.
right? So I think he might have had 2 over par rounds at Memorial, but he won with an over par. I think 3 over par rounds all year. He had like 80% of his rounds were in the 60s this year,
which is why you actually have to go ahead and buy at 280 because that might be the best price that you're going to have.
It was 320 Monday, and I couldn't believe it. Honestly, at this, we are entering into, and I'm not trying to say that Scottie Scheffler is Tiger Woods, because it's not about is he as good as Tiger Woods. You play your field. So in relation to the field, we have entered Scottie versus the field territory.
Correct.
And there was a time where Woods was essentially even money to win a major championship, where it was basically, plus 100, minus 110, whatever it was, to win a major. And you're like, how can that be?
There's 156 competitors.
Right. But it was still the smarter bet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting, I hate to make everything about wagering, but
we'll see.
He's plus money.
This is where I do enjoy the offerings at FanDuel Sportsbook, because then you can also get into winner without Scottie Scheffler.
Yep.
And so that does get us into the next part. If not Scottie, then who? Because Michael Campbell beat Tiger Woods during a Tiger versus the field era. There are a lot of possibilities, but I think that, if Xander at every single U.S. Open, literally that he's ever started, has a good finish.
Worst finish is 14th at a U.S. Open.
Colin Morikawa, top 5 at both the Masters and PGA.
I think he's the best other choice.
I'm going to be on CBS Sports Network in the 2:00 hour, and I have to do a pick and a sleeper. And Colin is.
Do you have a sport coat or no?
No, I think that I'm going to be okay
because you're here.
Because I'm here,
right? Yeah.
That was my argument. That was my argument for sport coat. That was my argument for pants. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Have you ever been in the Sandhills in June?
You cannot wear pants.
You can't wear pants. So the other thing, Colin's short game in terms of around the green has been surging this season, and it was once something that was a little bit of a liability. Right. High ball flight, can spin it. Can get lots of different shots into these greens. I saw him on Monday. I wasn't here yet, but I saw footage of him with the 3-wood out around the green. I like when I see that creativity.
Yep.
He's got all the tools. It is not a controversial thing to pick Colin Morikawa.
No.
But when you're asking me among that group there at the top, I'm going to go with Colin.
He's the 4th choice for people who think about it in these terms at 14-1. Xander is the 2nd choice. Rory, and by the way, congratulations, he and his wife getting back together. Rory McIlroy is tied for the 2nd choice at 10-1. I would love to see him win any major. It doesn't matter. I am Team Rory. I will be Team Rory until he hangs it up. I just don't see. He's too erratic with his irons to greens. He misses too many greens.
I think that ball control is an issue, and it's going to he's going to get
He's a great
punished.
chipper.
This is really tough. This is where we got to go arts and science, numbers and vibes, because you could simply say
Chipalytics did not like Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, you could simply say that this course is going to negate one of his greatest advantages over the field. That he's just not going to be able to go out there and be so much better than everybody else off the tee.
Right.
That he's going to be able to. It's a 7,500-yard course. It's a long course
and a par 70.
But especially with how those balls are going to run.
Yep.
They're shorter hitters have more of a boost. Longer hitters don't have as much of an advantage. But now let's go to the
I bet
vibes.
he hits a lot of 3-woods. I bet he hits more 3-woods than drivers here.
He might.
Because he won't have to hit driver.
So we get the news that he and his wife are undivorcing. I'm hearing,
I hadn't heard it in those terms.
I hear in the press conference.
I like it.
He's sitting there and he's talking and he's like, I can't think about things in those terms, talking about counting majors and how long it's been. He's sitting there. He's like, I've just come so far. It's pretty good for a little boy from Northern Ireland. And I was like, ugh, that is not a lot of tenacity.
No,
that is a lot. It's like the mental health, the perspective, all the things you want to hear for him as a human being, and none of the things that I want to hear for him to come out and to win this thing.
His least favorite player of all time right now is Greg Norman, Rory McIlroy's.
Right.
And when I hear Rory talk about it in those terms, I hear Greg Norman kind of justifying losing the 96 Masters. And I always felt that Norman's willingness to accept defeat was actually a hindrance to him. And I want Rory to be mad that he didn't win the Open at St. Andrews 2 years ago. I want him to be mad that he didn't win at LA Country Club last year. All credit to Wyndham Clark, who was the best player. Rory should have won that tournament, right? Rory, there are probably 5 other majors that Rory could have won that he didn't win. And I can't help but think that some of it is more accepting. You're just not going to win all the time. And like, no, it's been explained to me this way. He's got the best toolbox in golf, and he's not getting enough out of it.
You were going to really keep college football out of this, but you know what that sounds like? It sounds like Dabo Swinney when he's telling Dabo Swinney's telling Clemson fans, like, you can't win them all.
Are you saying that Rory needs to get into the transfer portal?
I am saying
we need.
Listen, Rory, you've done a great job of doing it the old school way, building up your talents, but we need to really activate IPTE and NIL and be able to get some new tools in here.
Chip Patterson is here at the U.S. Open. Bryson DeChambeau.
Love it.
Now,
I tried to find him out there. I don't know if he got mixed up on the on the chart for the practice groups, but I like his chances to be able to come out, and you could sell me on the mad scientist approach would be a bad thing. But I think ultimately, as scientific as he is creative, and the creativity is a good thing, I think, for Bryson DeChambeau here. I like his chances to be able to play very well, and also not that controversial considering he wins every other PGA championship except for the one that had Xander Schauffele.
Right.
20 under par.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wins that event with those strokes and across those 4 rounds almost every other time.
Yeah, Victor Hovland was right there too, right?
Xander was just one better. He played well at Augusta. Of all of the live guys, he's the one who I am looking at, and I'm like, okay, your game is still in shape that you can just show up and be able to turn the light switch, because I don't see that with DJ. I don't see that with Brooks. I don't see that with Cam Smith as much as I would think Cam Smith's game.
His game is all
here.
over the place. In the last event, he had 3 doubles and a triple.
He shot an 80, right?
In the final, yeah. But honestly, if I told you that he had 3 doubles and a triple and still shot 80, you would have gone, that's not that bad.
I was talking to somebody out there.
That's not that bad. That's 9 over in 4 holes.
Yeah.
It's not that terrible.
But you could see Cam Smith missing the cut by 4 strokes. You could see Cam Smith winning.
Yeah, I can't see him winning, but I can see him contending.
Like playing well.
Right. He's another guy that is a little bit too erratic off the tee and into greens. And because you're not going to be able, like, you can certainly make huge numbers if you miss a lot of greens, but I don't believe that anybody is going to be so great that they're going to gain tons of strokes on everybody. The difference is, like, if you're chipping incredibly well, like, I don't see anybody holing a lot of chips here. Getting up and down is going to be great. I think everybody's going to make a bunch of bogeys if you miss greens. I do think if you hit a lot of greens, I think there's birdies to be had out here. I just think people are going to spend a lot of shots.
Right. Which is when it's all coming out in the wash, you're going to have some birdie opportunities, and you better knock them down. When you hold the green and you put yourself in position 1A, take advantage, because then the course will get one back 3 holes later.
Or less.
Yeah.
Or less. First hole is under 400 yards. Second hole is over 500, both par 4s. Third hole, under 400 yards, a par 4. Fourth hole, over 500 yards, a par 4. That's all over the place. I wonder if a guy like Bryson, or maybe even Rory, will try to drive the third green.
I thought the second was the one you can drive. Wait, hold on. No. The third green is the one you can drive because it's 1, 2, then 3,
Yes.
4, 5, and then in for
the,
6.
The kind of the figure 8.
Yeah, the 3, 4, 5, 6.
By the way, that grandstand, I've told people this before, if you're coming down, the grandstand behind 3, you can see 4 holes.
Right.
From the upper left side of that grandstand, you could actually see 4 holes. It's very cool.
The grandstand at 6 feels smaller, and I think I like it because it's not as bowled in as it was in 14.
Okay.
So you've got a little
Very
bit
cool.
more like sight line to the other holes and kind of see the action.
All right, a couple of more things before I let Chip Patterson go because you have to go on TV. The first shot played here will be played by Michael McGowan, and he is the grandson of Peggy Kirk Bell, who I guess founded Pine Needles and Mid Pines. So she's a legend of this area. I actually interviewed her 20 some odd years ago. I had no idea that I was talking to like Peggy Kirk Bell was such a thing. I was dumb. I'd only been here a couple of years, and I was doing a golf show, and like, oh, you want to talk to Peggy Kirk Bell? Sure. Who was that? But yeah, she was a dynamite lady, and Mid Pines and Pine Needles, a great resort down the street here. But her grandson, Michael McGowan, is firing the first shot. Carter Jenkins, who played at Carolina from Leesville Road High School, is in that first group out. And the story about Carter Jenkins is it relates to Grayson Murray. For people who don't know, passed away, took his own life.
And played at Leesville.
Yeah, he played at Leesville like 2 years prior.
Got it.
And Murray, in forget what year it was, shot a second round 66 to make the cut at what is now the Corn Ferry Tour at the Rex Hospital Open, again now UNC Hospital Open, at Wakefield. That tournament is now at Raleigh Country Club. But he shot a 66 in the second round to make the cut as a high schooler. And a couple of years later, he caddied for Carter Jenkins in that same tournament. Oh. It was just a very cool thing that, I mean, Murray didn't have to do that.
Sure.
But offered to caddy for him, and he caddied for, I remember talking to Carter, like, wait a second, I know you. So it was very cool. Anyway, so Carter Jenkins is the first group off. All right, give me some guys way down the list you think will be, at least you'll see their names up there.
Russell Henley.
Okay.
Russell Henley's playing some good golf recently. 35 years old, not a really long hitter, but again.
He's only 35?
35 years old.
Okay. I feel like Russell Henley's been a thing for like 20 years.
You go back and you look at those, career trajectories. He flashes early, low AM back in, what was that, 2008 or something?
Gosh.
He's low AM at the U.S. Open. Most of his U.S. Open finishes have been pretty good. He had the top 5 at the Masters last year.
He'll make some birdies.
He's someone who I'm definitely keeping an eye on in terms of his ability to, in a leaderboard that I do think will be crunched. You cannot run away with this title like Martin Keimer did. I just don't think it will happen.
No. He won by 8, right.
Well,
he was the only guy that didn't screw it up.
Well, and even then, think about it. He was 2 over on the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes 65-65. When you see a 10 under going into Saturday, it just totally changes the tournament. But let's see. Other ones that I'm keeping an eye on a little bit further down the board. Let's see. Do you think this will be a good Tony Finau week?
I think Tony Finau is the type of player who could do well here.
Same.
He is very good hitting the ball close to the flag. His strokes gained approach, to use the PGA Tour statistical term, is very good. I like Corey Connors. This week.
Yeah, Big Tone was in trouble at the end of 2023. He's been getting it back on track here in 24. Corey Connors just been rock solid.
Yep.
No holes in the game. So
very good.
Good high floor proposition there.
He's not putting worth anything, but I kind of like Justin Thomas to be up in the top 10 this week. So I think he might be a good value pick.
So
to be a top 10.
The Chipalytics produced 2 names that I actually scratched from my card because they didn't pass the smell test. One's Justin Thomas, the other is Max Homa.
I'm Team Max Homa all day long. I love Max.
I root for both those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy watching them play. I enjoy watching them contend. I enjoy listening to hear them talk about golf. Right. They convey the mind of a pro, and obviously pros at different level, where multiple major winner Justin Thomas, Max Homa's career just getting started. You know, they do a great job of communicating their perspective as a PGA Tour professional, and I enjoy that. But it just didn't pass the smell test for me. I think Tom Hoagie, another one down the
Statesville, North Carolina native. Of course, he calls Fargo, North Dakota home now. That's just the weirdest thing to see on the tee sheet.
Yeah.
Tom Hoagie, Fargo, North Dakota. It's not like all those pros who play in Sea Island, the Sea Island Mafia, they call themselves. There's no Fargo Mafia. He's on his own.
Are there more people in Fargo than Statesville?
It's probably the same.
Okay.
It's probably. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure there's more people in North Dakota
than Statesville.
But it's pretty close. No, there's definitely more people in North Dakota. I think Hoagie is somebody who I would not be surprised if you saw day one going to the weekend on the first page of the leaderboard. He's a great ball striker.
I think I've got a Sahith top 20 ticket.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and this is my own battle. These are my own demons that I got to settle with Sahith. Because if you've seen it, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
It's like he's top 5 missed cut, T12, 64.
He was good at the PGA for a while.
Until
Sunday.
Even within the context of a championship.
Yeah.
And you'll see the ejection when you pull up his scorecard, because then it's just like square, square, double square, 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 square. Like, oh, this guy just checked out.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, when I say that I'm not promoting Sahith as a great pick. I'm just letting you know that I've been on the coaster. It's maddening. And what I'm not going to do is get off at the United States Open, because then if it hits,
then
you're so mad.
You want to be there.
Right.
You want to be there for
exactly.
all of it. Chip Patterson, thank you for sitting in. I appreciate it, man. All right. We'll take a break, and when we come back, I'll tell you why the U.S. Open is the best major next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's time for our countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC. 2000 was the year of Tiger Woods. At the height of his dominance of the sport, Tiger posted a 12-under par winning total at Pebble Beach, a 15-stroke victory.
And Tiger Woods is the 100th U.S. Open champion in history.
Tiger cracked open a spectacular performance, playing his first 22 holes and final 26 holes without a single bogey. There's your countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my man, Coach Pete DeRuta, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. We talk about him being a coach all the time because he has a game plan for your retirement. How about this? In honor of the U.S. Open, because I'm at Pinehurst today, let's call him a retirement caddy, and a great one. A guy who can help you navigate your financial round of life, if you will. So when you get to the 72nd hole and you putt out, you've got everything you need for retirement. Nobody does it better than Coach Pete DeRuta. And if you call 888-843-0013 or text Adam to 600-700, we're going to get you his total customized game plan, course management, if you will, for free. It's a $1,000 value to anybody else. You get it for free if you call 888-843-0013 or text Adam to 600-700 right now. Capital Financial Advisory Group, Coach Pete DeRuta, retirement with a trophy.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
This is Adam Gold.
He said he could talk about his golf game. He did say it wasn't great, and I said, hey, no judgment here. I'm a drive shacker and a putt-putter myself.
None of us are good. Even those of us that are good aren't really good.
Right, yeah.
We're just not.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. We're at Pinehurst inside the Media Center. And I said this earlier, thanks to the USGA for the hospitality. We were trying to do this behind the driving range, which would have been a lovely location because it was a nice shaded spot. Looked pretty nice out there. Was somewhat dangerous. There were a couple of balls that leaked through the net right near our location, so I don't think we were completely out of harm's way. But ultimately, we couldn't do it out there, thanks to the USGA for shuttling us around as we were struggling to find a location and then back here. And again, shouts to Dennis for setting up 3 different times. We'll talk more about players and things about the U.S. Open in a little bit. So many people love the Masters, and I love all majors. Major championship golf is among my favorite things to watch, my favorite things to discuss, and just kind of soak in the history of. And so many people love the Masters for 2 reasons. One, it's the first major of the year, and the second, the course familiarity. And I understand all that. It's beautiful. I get it. All of that. But the opposite for me is what makes the U.S. Open, to me, the best major. Because the variety that you get at a U.S. Open. And they no longer go to the same types of courses every year. They used to go to the same types of places, even if they were going to a different course. Like, back in the day, Winged Foot in New York and Oakmont in Pittsburgh, or the Country Club in Brookline, or Oak Hill in Rochester, or Oakland Hills in suburban Detroit. They all looked the same. Big, tree-lined golf courses with really, really thick rough and super fast, big greens like Congressional in Washington, D.C., actually Potomac, Maryland. But they stopped doing that. They stopped going to the same types of places. They've created more variety. The fact that they use a course like Pinehurst, which looks like nothing else in the U.S. Open rotation. They've tried to go to other types of courses. They've tried to go to an Erin Hills where Brooks Koepka won for the first time, or Chambers Bay where Jordan Spieth won his U.S. Open. And it was okay. I don't think it was exactly what they wanted, and it's unlikely that they will go back in terms of a U.S. Open to those locations. They still use them for like amateurs or some of the other USGA events. But the variety of a U.S. Open is, to me, a tremendous selling point as to why it's the best major. And here's the other thing. It's okay, and I know the USGA has taken a lot of criticism over the years. It is okay for the best players in the world to have to suffer. I know that there are people who hate to see when, like, 3 over par wins a major championship, or we've seen 7 over par win a major championship. But we get caught up in what's score in relation to par rather than it's just the low score. Par is random. We can make a par 3 a par 5 if we wanted. I mean, that's an extreme case. But you can make a par 3 a par 4 if you wanted. You can make a 240-yard par 3 a par 4. Just play a short par 4. And it is what it is. It's still low score wins. So we get kind of, and sometimes the USGA does that on purpose. I said this to Chip. In the first 4 holes, there are 2 par 4s that are in excess of 500 yards. The 4th hole, and by the way, they'll play another one. I think the 8th? The 8th hole is a par 5 for everybody else that comes to Pinehurst number 2 to play. But it's a par 4. They'll shorten it a little bit, but it's essentially a 500 and some odd yard par 4. It doesn't matter what the par is. It just doesn't matter. But people get bent out of shape over seeing all the bogeys when they're trying to examine every part of your game. They're trying to examine whether or not you're good at driving the ball, whether you're good at hitting balls to greens in regulation, how you putt, how you chip, but also how you deal with the imperfect, how you deal with your own inability to hit the shots you're trying to hit. It's a total examination, and it should be hard. And I'm not knocking the other majors because they're all difficult in their own ways, right? And again, I'm not getting caught up in score in relation to par. And we all love birdies, but it should be hard. And yes, there are big numbers at Augusta, but man, you tell me when you're watching the Masters on a Saturday or a Sunday, you know the holes that have to be birdied, right? You know all of them. We know that, man, if you're not birdieing the par 5s, 13 and 15, if you're not birdieing 16, right, then you're probably losing shots to the field, or even 14. There are holes on the, all the par 5s. Those do not exist at U.S. Opens. They just don't. It's the conditions are too severe, and does the USGA take it too far at times? They have. If you've watched any coverage on Golf Channel, you've seen John Daly hit the ball across the green here at Pinehurst, and I believe that was in 2005. Or you watched highlights of Phil Mickelson hit a moving ball on a green at Shinnecock about 8 or 9 years ago, because it frustrates those players. And I go back to something Brooks Koepka said a few years ago when Brooks was at the height of his powers, when he had won 4 majors basically in a 2.5-year span. And people were asking him, what makes majors easier for you? And he basically went through this, and there was a little bit of arrogance involved. Well, I eliminate X amount of players because they're not good enough. I eliminate these players because they've already talked themselves out of it. And when you're complaining about the conditions, you've already talked yourself out of it. When you're complaining about, well, this is already too hard, this is unplayable, you've already talked yourself out of it. And that's what Brooks Koepka was getting at. And that's what we are likely to see this week, starting tomorrow at Pinehurst. We're going to see the green conditions get so fast. And because there is no rain in the forecast, the fairways are going to get so dry and the ball's going to run forever, and good tee shots are going to end up in bad places because the ball is just not going to stop on fairways. So when we were talking to Chip about players, the longer hitters can probably use 3-woods or irons and have the ball chase out to about the same distance as they normally would if the fairways had any moisture on them. It's going to be wild to watch. And that's why I think this U.S. Open will probably play closer to an Open Championship, a British Open, than any other, maybe since the last time we were here at Pinehurst when Martin Keimer won. 3 winners before here: Payne Stewart, Michael Campbell, and Martin Keimer. Keimer's in the field. Campbell is not. I don't think Campbell really plays golf anymore. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will stretch. We will place bets. As you might expect, the wagers will be all looking forward to the Open. Next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my good friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports bookie. With all the action coming to Pinehurst this upcoming week, FanDuel wants you to get in on all the carnage, all of the suspense, all of the goofiness down there in the Sandhills. And right now, all customers can get a profit boost for every round of this major championship. And this means you can boost your outright winners, your longest drive, your who's going to make your next birdie. You can bet on finishing position and get paid in full for ties. That is a big deal. No other sports books are doing this. Go to FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS to get started. Take advantage of your profit boost every round at Pinehurst. Must be 21 or older and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we like calling North Carolina home because being local matters. It's why in every county, we have agents whose hometown is your town. That means we're there when you need us most, with personal service you'd expect from a friend or neighbor. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Some call it overplanning. At Alternative Power, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
Deep in the Sandhills sits a North Carolina gem, Pinehurst. Uncover the stories behind this legendary golf destination in the new PBS NC special. It's a beautiful day in Pinehurst. Step onto its hallowed grounds, where golf's greatest players have made history, and learn what sets Pinehurst apart, from its humble origins to its modern-day status as the cradle of American golf. Stream It's a Beautiful Day in Pinehurst for free now on the PBS app.
Think it's too pricey to pursue your interest and earn a degree? Well, if you're a North Carolinian from a household making $80,000 or less, think again. The Next NC Scholarship could cover more than half, if not all, of your tuition and fees at any NC community college or public university. This is money that doesn't have to be repaid. The Next NC Scholarship helps you know what you're getting because it combines federal and state-funded financial aid to form a new, simplified award. We're talking at least $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for a public university, making the cost of education more manageable. The Next NC Scholarship also helps you know where you're going. because you could see how much you could get to pay for the schools you're interested in. So picking the right path for you and your future is now easier than ever. Applying is as simple as filling out the FAFSA. Dig into the details at nextncscholarship.org. The Next NC Scholarship. Know what you're getting, know where you're going.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Our public power providers in North Carolina keep the power on 99.9% of the time. That averages out to be less than 1 hour a year without power. Public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
This is Adam Gold.
Victoria, you played sports in high school, right?
Oh, yeah. Basketball, and I swam.
Could you imagine competing for $1 million?
No.
$1 million.
No. I competed for plastic trophies.
I was also a high school athlete, baseball player. No, and I could never even imagine it.
No.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Oh, I can't wait till we do wagers. By the way, Victoria, do you have in your arsenal of seventh inning stretch stories, do you have anything that relates to Joey Chestnut?
I mean, I can definitely talk about Joey Chestnut for sure.
No, but like there's actual Joey Chestnut news.
Yes, there is big Joey Chestnut news that was released yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was just curious if you have it. I'm prepared to engage just in case. All right, let's stretch.
Okay, well, we will just kick off with the big Joey Chestnut news. So a lot of people, if you don't know, Joey Chestnut is the guy who wins all the Nathan's hot dog eating contest every single year.
Seven in a row or whatever that is.
It's ridiculous.
It's got the record of 76 hot dogs.
It's so dumb.
And buns. Yeah,
it's crazy. So, yeah, he no longer is going to be doing this anymore. And the reason...
Kicked out!
Yes. Well, what? The reason is because he just decided to go vegan, or at least with his hot dogs. At least he is with a deal. He has a deal with a vegan hot dog company that is worth $1.2 million. It's a 4-year contract. So, yeah, Chestnut was paid $200,000 for his appearance in last year's contest at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. So, no more real hot dogs for him, I guess, because he's getting more bang for his buck with the vegan stuff.
I mean, so it was funny. Nathan's just kicked him out.
Yeah.
Because he has a deal with him, like it's Impossible Hot Dog or whatever the company is.
Yeah. I want to say that's the same kind of meat that you like, the Impossible Burgers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing that's the same company. But yeah, he's switched ships. So, I don't know.
That is unbelievable. Joey Chestnut. I wonder, is he the Caitlin Clark of competitive eating? So are television ratings,
I would say so,
significantly better when Joey Chestnut is grossing us out? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I find competitive eating gross.
Yeah.
I will not watch it.
It
nauseates me to even discuss it.
I mean, there are times
I'm teetering on the edge right now.
when I am like too hungry, when I'm super hungry and my eyeballs are like hungrier than my stomach and I feel like I eat too much, I can't even imagine doing it on purpose. Like, what does it? Yeah. So, but no, he's going to do that. And I would like to see what the sales look like for Impossible hot dogs. So after he does, since he's the Caitlin Clark of it. So I don't know.
Like, how much meat could really be in a hot dog? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, that's the
how
next
much? Do you buy 100% all beef hot dogs? Do you buy that they're?
I actually do buy the
all
Nathan's
beef?
ones. Yeah.
No,
I
whether
try.
you purchase them or not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still questionable.
We all purchase hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I am just not buying whether or not, essentially that they're all beef.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, there's some
Who's
other
gonna
things.
know?
There's some, yeah.
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
gonna know? How are we really
Right.
gonna know? So,
How are we going to tell?
yeah,
Good point.
exactly.
Very good point.
So, well, a place, or I should say, a sport that you might think of hot dogs. Baseball. And there is a lot of, I like to look back on, like, on this day back in whatever this happened. Well, 85 years ago in 1939, the Baseball Hall of Fame opened in Cooperstown, New York.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that happened. Also, the first players inducted: Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Enos Wagner. So just, in case you were wondering. Also, let's see, 27 years ago, interleague play in Major League Baseball began.
Gosh.
I know.
So bad.
I know. Ending its 126-year tradition of keeping the American League and National League separate until the World Series. And 33 years ago, Michael Jordan, we love him here, Chicago Bulls won their first NBA championship with Michael Jordan, beating the LA Lakers 4-1. So, yeah, that all happened like a long time ago, but this was the day for it. So, while you're thinking about hot dogs, also something that you might be wanting to look for, because back in the day, this was a big thing. I know that you're not really into Star Wars. I'm not really into Star Wars either.
I like Star Wars. I don't
Okay.
I don't obsess over Star Wars
Right.
like other people obsess over Star Wars. I
That
think the
is the
Star
thing.
Wars movies are good.
Right. Yeah, same. I've seen them. They're
I
okay.
enjoy watching
I
them,
like them. But yes, I don't have like a ton of collectibles. But maybe
No.
some of you do. And if you do, it could possibly be worth almost $500,000. So this is what it is. Yes. So back in the day, back in 1979 to be exact, there was a Star Wars action figure that was made, but it was made a little different. So Boba Fett, we're talking about this action figure. There's a special version that was never officially put out on the market. There was a prototype that had a missile that actually fired little cannons on its back.
Oh, really?
Yes, but the
Very
company didn't think that would be a great idea because, kids choking, all that stuff. We don't want any of that.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't actually sell those. However, there were 100 prototypes. On record, they know of 70 that are in the hands of collectors, but one did just sell at an auction for $525. So,
Wow.
yeah, you could look for that on the eBays and see what you
I will
like
not.
there. But
I will not look for that in eBay. I'll tell you what I think Star Wars is best for. Legos.
oh,
yeah,
yes.
you can buy the ships.
Yes.
All of them. I think we did a Lego Death Star
Okay.
once. Oh yeah, we
I know
did.
Legos
We did all
is
of
big
it.
now. Like that's a big thing with people.
yes.
People love the Legos now. Well,
You know what I actually like with Legos? Real quick, I'm sorry, I'm just I'm interrupting you.
No.
You can do like historical buildings. We did a Lego White House. Not that it's very, very cool. This stuff. Those things are a little bit more expensive as Legos because I think they believe they're adult Legos, and they kind of are.
Yeah.
But
I
we
know.
tried to get a Lego. My son's a Man U fan.
Yeah.
The Lego Old Trafford, which is their stadium, and you could buy a Lego Old Trafford, but it's $340.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
or you
we
could
didn't
not.
buy it.
Yeah.
When we didn't buy it.
I don't blame you for not doing that. But one thing that people do want to buy, because I guess this is a big thing, I had no idea. Trader Joe's they're in the news now, not for selling food, but they're mini insulated tote bags.
Oh, really?
I have no idea. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Okay.
But on June 4th, they made these 2 tote bags that are 2 different colors. They're a limited time, like limited edition. So, of course, everyone's going to go crazy for it. But they're basic. Yeah. They have insulated walls, a zipper top, 2 reinforced handles, and it's about 1.5 gallons capacity level. So they were selling for $3.99 at Trader Joe's, and everyone was going nuts. And I don't know if it's just because it's Trader Joe's, maybe, but they're reselling these things on eBay for $1,000.
Wait. So the tote bag itself was like $4?
It's like $4, and people
and
are
they're selling
reselling
it
it
on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
We
it.
got
So
problems.
good.
We
Good
got
luck
problems.
looking at Trader Joe's if you're trying to find those.
A
now.
clear sign the terrorists have won.
Exactly.
A clear
Yeah.
sign.
We have to win some bets just to buy some totes.
Let's
I
do it.
guess.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen on. Not going to get to $1,000 bucks.
Bushwood, sir, and I never slide. Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right. All of my wagers are going to be golf wagers.
Nice. Well,
All of
I'll
them.
stick with baseball. You can do the golfing. So the
Okay.
Astros, they're taking on the Giants, San Fran. They're going to be in San Francisco, but give me the Astros to win this one. They're underdogs, plus 110.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. It's baseball. Wake me up when the Mets are good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not going to be good. All right, we'll start with the easy one. I don't understand why it's plus money. And because you are getting plus money, I think you have to. You have to go Scotty Scheffler to win at plus 280 right now. And it's plus 280. They're asking you to take their money.
Yeah, he's plus.
They're
I don't
begging you.
understand why he's still plus money, but okay.
I mean, it certainly shouldn't be plus 280. It should be
Right.
like plus 160.
No, exactly. Well, my next
do
one,
it.
I'm kind of going out on a branch. Oakland Athletics versus San Diego Padres. I just like how scrappy the A's have been here lately. Like, you just never know. They're throwing out strays. So give me them because they're also an underdog, plus 188.
So, is anybody going to their games? Their home game? No, seriously.
Yeah, I have no
because
idea.
they're leaving.
Yes.
I don't think anybody really is going to A's games.
Well,
I don't
will
care how
say,
good they are.
I actually do follow a girl on Twitter. Her and I talk about MMA things all the time, and she is a huge Oakland A's fan. So I have seen her go because she's also taken pictures of like cool little snacks that they have, but I don't know if she's
very
gone
nice.
recently. So she has at least gone before.
All right. My son also takes pictures of snacks. All right. Bryson DeChambeau, top 10 finish, plus 290.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I like the value there too.
I am going to go with the Phillies, my last one, the Phillies versus the Red Sox. You know, I can't go against the Phillies, so give me them, and we'll do over 8.5. That's plus 222.
All right. Let's go top 20. I'm going to give you two for the top 20. Aaron Rai, spelled R-A-I, and Tom Hoagie. Rye is at plus 320. Hoagie is at plus 360. I provide this as a public service so people can have a little bit more fun watching the U.S. Open. The wall of sound is coming up. You'll hear a little bit more from the U.S. Open, and we'll get into some Panther stuff.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold from my man Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. I talk to you about Gordon Miller all the time. He invented the no closing cost mortgage back in 1987. He brought it to the Triangle in 1996. He has been helping people here save money ever since. I've had 11 mortgages with Gordon. I've never paid a dime in closing costs. I saved about $50,000. That's pretty good. All of that stuff is great. But here's the other best thing about Gordon Miller. And I can say this because he is obviously a very good friend of mine. Gordon cares about other people as much or more than anybody I've ever met. So he wants me to take this time during this commercial, tell you to go get yourself checked for cancer. Early detection is the best way to beat this dreaded disease. Prostate cancer, breast cancer for women, colon cancer, men, women. Get yourself checked. Please do it now. Miller Lending, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's here. The Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month. Rebates up to $8,000 plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3. Only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
Everyone's trying to become more streamlined these days, so why not you? Adam Gold here from my friends at Travers LASIK and Dr. Lori Travers, the Triangle's only LASIK specialist, and this is your chance to become more efficient. If you are a contact lens or glasses wearer, get rid of them. Plus, Travers LASIK is offering $1,000 off right now and 0% financing for qualified customers. Go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK. Hank Bauer, Chairman, ABC Commission. And we're here to talk about Talk It Out NC. Where were we? Where are we?
We're maybe 50% of 8th graders have tried alcohol. That's come way down. I've been in this position for almost 3 years, and it was in the 65-67% range.
8th graders?
8th graders. It's scary. Yes, 8th graders. Parents need to get to them early. And if you go to our website, talkitoutnc.org, it'll help the parents have that discussion because it is a tough discussion.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate at 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
What a comeback! Visit GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
3, 2, Jordan, let's fly. It is over. The Destiny Darlings have done it. The Duke Blue Devils have won their first ever national basketball championship. And the ball game is over. They said it couldn't be done, but Duke has done it again. Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils started the season number 1. They finished number 1. And now for the second year in a row, they wear the crown of the king. 3, 2, 1. How sweet it is! The Duke Blue Devils are the NCAA basketball champions. 2001 turns out to be a Blue Devil odyssey. And the most beautiful girl in the big dance is the Devil with the blue dress on. Oh, how sweet it is!
The late Bob Harris, who passed away today after a 3-year battle with Alzheimer's disease, longtime voice of Duke football and men's basketball. Again, I got the news today from the folks over at Duke. It's a sad day for everybody connected with Duke athletics, as Bob was such an institution. I said this before. When I moved down here 26 years ago, I moved into an area. I had no team to root for necessarily. I didn't like Duke or Carolina or NC State or ECU or App more than I liked anybody else. I was just a sports fan moving down here. Ultimately started talking about sports, but man, I was a fan as a kid of radio voices. I grew up in an era of Marv Albert and Marty Glickman, who did the Jets games when I was a kid, and Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy, who did Mets games on radio and television. And we have been blessed here with the ability to hear some of these voices the Woody Durhams, Gary Hahn, who's just retired, Jeff Charles, who also passed away at when he was at ECU, and Bob Harris. I mean, just absolutely lucky to be able to have them tell our stories. So sad day for the ACC, sad day for Duke University. Our best to Bob's wife, Phyllis. She was by his side when he passed away. All right, so we're down here at Pinehurst, 124th U.S. Open Golf Championship, which will tee off at 6:45 tomorrow morning. First shot hit will be by Michael McGowan, who was he still is the grandson of Peggy Kirk Bell, who is a legendary North Carolina golf figure, legendary pro, and somebody who settled here in the Sandhills and founded Pine Needles and Mid Pines, which has become also a staple of the women's golf the U.S. Women's Open. Pine Needles hosted it 4 times, and I'm sure we'll host it many more times now that the U.S. Open is here. Although the U.S. Open is coming here, the Women's Open is coming here in 29, and it'll be back-to-back with the Men's Open again like it was in 2014. So that's the first shot hit. And I think the second shot hit will be by Carter Jenkins, who played his high school golf at Leesville Road in Raleigh. Right now, it is time for a wall of sound.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
All right, let's get right to it. And we will start. Jon Rahm, a couple of years ago, won the U.S. Open when it was at Torrey Pines. I think it was 2022 when Rahm did that. He withdrew from his last event on the LIV Tour. I forget where LIV was playing. I think it was in Houston. And he withdrew with what it turns out to be an infected lesion between his little toe and second toe from the right, I guess. I think it was on his right foot, and was hoping to play in the U.S. Open, but ultimately withdrew. And here's Rahm on it withdrawing.
How or what happened, but he got infected, and the pain was high. Because on the Saturday morning, I did get a shot to numb the area, and it was supposed to last the whole round, and by my second hole was already in pain already. So the infection was the worrisome part, and the infection has under control now, but there's still swelling and there's still pain. Could I have dragged myself out there and post some kind of a score? Yeah, but it was getting to a point where I wasn't making the swings I wanted to make, and I could have hurt other parts of my swing just because of the pain. And as in this week, I don't know.
Well, we found out later on, too, I think his press conference might have been Monday, but we found out Tuesday that Jon Rahm was not going to play in the U.S. Open. See, these guys target the majors all year long. The best players. It's not like they don't want to play in the other events. They do. The other events matter too. But what they're hoping to do is peak 4 times a year to give themselves chances to win these tournaments. Yes, you can win a lot of regular tour events and make the Hall of Fame. But when we talk about who the greatest players in the world are, it's hard to be on that list without winning major championships. And Rahm has 2 now. He's got the U.S. Open. He won the Masters last year. Hasn't really had that great a season on LIV. Hasn't had a bad season, but I don't think he's won on the LIV Tour. And he has had 2 poor finishes in major championships. He was hoping to have a good one here. Somebody who just got rid of the tag best player to have not won a major, Xander Schauffele. Now, a few weeks after winning the PGA, he shows up at Pinehurst.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. obviously a great feeling and just a completely different test. I think I like to look at each week individually, and this is going to be quite the test of golf.
Yes, it is. There is no question. It's very different. Valhalla was not, I guess if you're looking at the scores, Valhalla will seem easier. It was a different type of a test. Not as extreme. The U.S. Open will be more extreme it's going to test these players. Here's Scotty Scheffler and reacting to the course.
Yeah, course is great. I mean, in good shape. I think the areas around the green are extremely difficult to play out of. I think the golf course is going to play pretty tough this week, but it'll be a fun test. I think the golf course is great. I mean, it's extremely challenging. I don't really think they have to do too much to trick it up with the way the greens are if they want the scores to be high, and so it should be a good test and a fun week.
No, you don't have to trick it up because the greens are upside-down salad bowls. So they come already, if you will, tricked up. Let me go back to Xander because I think I skipped one here. Because, again, going back to what he did at Valhalla and even the course he played last week at the Memorial, Muirfield Village, Jack Nicklaus's course, this is going to be an extreme test.
Yeah, very much along the lines of a U.S. Open. Obviously not the traditional one with sort of really long grass, rough, and stuff like that, but true test of a U.S. Open where, par is a really good score, and, 5 sometimes isn't going to hurt you either.
No. As a matter of fact, just a few under par is likely to win. It's something Rory McIlroy said yesterday at his press conference. He thinks whatever the leading score is tomorrow, like somebody goes out and shoots, let's just say, a 67. He thinks the leading score tomorrow will be enough to win the tournament after 4 days. He doesn't think that he thinks that the course will play increasingly more difficult, which will bring the scores down. So whatever the leading score is after tomorrow, he believes will ultimately win. Back to Scotty Scheffler, who has yet to win a U.S. Open, basically talking about the lessons he's learned along the way.
I think a lot of it's patience, and then there's certain areas of the golf courses where you can't really fake it. You just have to step up there and hit great golf shots. I mean, there's certain holes out here where, especially some of the par threes, where there's not really a place where there's a good miss. It's just you better get up there and you just better hit it right where you're looking, or else you're going to be in big trouble. And a lot of that is just being committed to what you're doing. I can't really worry about where the ball's going to go because I'm going to hit some really good shots this week that just don't work out, and you're going to make bogeys hitting good shots. That's just the nature of how difficult the golf course is. But what I appreciate about this kind of course is a lot of the areas around the greens are all fairway, and so it may be extremely difficult shots, but there's always opportunity. Sometimes when there's heavy rough, there's not really much opportunity for a great shot, and so I appreciate more having the playability of the runoff areas more than heavy rough surrounding every green, and definitely provides a little bit more variety, a little bit more excitement, and a little bit more creativity around the greens. And I believe it's a better test than just having heavy rough over the back of every green. And so courses like this I think are a lot of fun to play.
It's something else actually that Rory McIlroy talked about, and more related it to last week at Memorial, where there was heavy rough around every green and lining every fairway. And that's good too. But he said that it was basically the same every hole. You didn't have options. At Pinehurst this weekend, everybody, starting tomorrow, everybody will have options. You can putt from off the green. You can chip from off the green. You can chip low into the hill and let it run, or you can try to fly it, a good ways towards the hole. There are tons of options. You've got sandy areas around greens. I tell people this all the time. If you can, Pinehurst number 2 is the friendliest golf course of this ilk. If you want to play, if you have a Jones to play a major championship golf course, I promise you, Pinehurst is the friendliest to the everyday player. You cannot lose a golf ball at Pinehurst. You have accomplished something if you lose a golf ball. You play the entire round with one ball at Pinehurst. I promise you. And shoot 100. You can't. There's no place to lose a golf ball. You can't. There's just nowhere to go. It is a very user-friendly golf course, even though it's difficult. A couple of more things here in the Wall of Sound. Jerry West passed away today. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN on the logo's importance to the league.
Jerry West is as important of a figure in NBA history as any I can think of. I don't think there's another individual who did so many things so well in almost every element of NBA and basketball life, as a player, as a coach, as an executive, a dynasty builder, and he's the logo.
He is the logo. There is no question he's the logo. He's also an incredible executive. And a dynamite executive, or was, until he passed away today at the age of 86. All right, we're going to get a break. And then we're going to come back with one of my favorite people on the earth and somebody who has helped make history here at Pinehurst number 2. Next.
Rally to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Golf's third major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the U.S. Open from Pinehurst. Find out if Wyndham Clark can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the championship trophy. Coverage of the U.S. Open on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by McConnell Golf with 16 top-ranked courses, the best private club value from the mountains to the coast.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my man, Coach Pete DeRuta, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. We talk about him being a coach all the time because he has a game plan for your retirement. How about this? In honor of the U.S. Open, because I'm at Pinehurst today, let's call him a retirement caddy, and a great one. A guy who can help you navigate your financial round of life, if you will. So when you get to the 72nd hole and you putt out, you've got everything you need for retirement. Nobody does it better than Coach Pete DeRuta. And if you call 888-843-0013 or text Adam to 600-700, we're going to get you his total customized game plan, course management, if you will, for free. It's a $1,000 value to anybody else. You get it for free if you call 888-843-0013 or text Adam to 600-700 right now. Capital Financial Advisory Group, Coach Pete DeRuta, retirement with a trophy.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So typical job, couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean. and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually.
2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have?
Where do I begin?
We don't have that much time.
You know, we got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings.
Can you put a window where I don't have a window?
We do it all the time.
Unbelievable. Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right?
Absolutely. And doors.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is Adam Gold.
Thank you very much for your time, man. We will talk again.
Adam, anytime for you, my friend.
Thank you. I don't know why it makes me laugh. Why does it make me laugh?
I don't know. Maybe you just are used to people being mean to you or something, like Twitter. I don't know.
The Adam Gold Show.
Yes, now
We're
we
all
are
back. Oh man, it's all good stuff. All good stuff. We're my friend and I were talking hockey. We're going to get to that because my friend's a big hockey fan. Let me introduce him. 25 years ago this week was one of the greatest hugs in the history of golf, as Payne Stewart made a putt 25 feet, 22 feet, 18 feet on the 72nd green to win the U.S. Open. Mike Hicks, his caddy, jumped into his arms. It was one of those moments that will live forever. Thank you very much for sitting down. 25. It's hard to believe that it was 25 years ago.
Unbelievable how fast that went by. I mean, just incredible. And
So-
this is our fourth trip here now, so
Right.
You know, three other opens, but none to match that one.
No, there haven't been many opens that match the way that finished. You've got Tiger pushing. Phil, with 3 holes to go, had the lead.
Yeah.
And Payne, who the year before probably felt robbed
Yep.
at Olympic Club, right?
Yep.
To push through and win that open in the fashion putt he makes on 17 for bird. I think he made a par putt on 16 too.
Yeah, we made
right?
about a 25-footer for par on 16.
Just a ho-hum 25-footer for par on 16. The birdie putt down the hill on 17 to a difficult pin, and then up the hill, the 18-footer. No big deal. When you walk into this place, what are the emotions that run through you?
Well, it's bittersweet because you get here, and especially when it's open week. Now I come down occasionally and on my own and play. I was here 6 weeks ago and played the course. But when you come for a U.S. Open week, and there's a lot of pictures and a lot of obviously the media and all that stuff going on. It's bittersweet because you start reliving that one moment in time, just like they called it, where you're a part of, arguably the greatest major championship history. And then you start thinking, well, one of my closest friends is no longer with us.
That's right.
So it's bittersweet. And, I haven't seen Tracy and Aaron and Chelsea yet, but I'll see them tonight at a function. But looking forward to seeing them. Haven't seen them in a while. But it's great to be back here, and this is the Mecca, man. This is the Mecca of golf in the United States, and it's obvious the USGA feels the same way, moving their home here in the Hall of Fame, and we're coming here every 5 years. So can't get any better than that.
I likened it to St. Andrews. That's what they're basically treating it.
That's right.
Like it's going to take a while, but they will eventually pass Oakmont for the most U.S. Opens played at one specific course. Is it more good than bad, your memories when you walk through, especially when you see this, the statue right now has been relocated into the fan village, which I didn't know they could do that.
Yep.
Although we take statues down all the time now, which is fine.
Well, he's right out the entrance out there. So, I mean, I think, and what I hear, and I'm not sure how true this is. I'm not sure. I can't even remember who told me, but they're going to leave it there. So it's going to be.
Isn't that like
a permanent
guarding a
place
hole?
It's. I don't know how they dug
the first hole.
I don't know how they
number
dug.
one.
I don't know how they dug them up, but they did. And from what I understand, they're going to leave it out there so everybody that whether you're coming in as a resort guest or you're just coming in to see the facilities here, you'll see them. So unless you're playing, you're not going to see him behind the 18th green.
We were up here for media day. I birdied the 18th.
Oh,
and
nice.
but I don't have the flexibility that Payne had. I can't get my leg behind me into that.
And you got to have the straight leg, It's hard. It's a hard position to get into.
Mike Hicks is joining us here. He was Payne Stewart's caddy in 1999. I'm curious because I referenced what happened in 98 where he had some issues with the USGA with the whole position on the 18th green at Olympic Club.
That was on Friday, I think.
Was it? Yeah, because the putt just came up short and a little bit left. Not a lot short and not a lot left, and then rolled down, all the way down the hill.
Well, listen, he's 8 feet from the hole for birdie, pin high right. And it just didn't put enough swing on the putt. So it's low to begin with. And then literally he saw the ball start trickling, and he went all the way to the front of the green and waited for the ball where it was going to stop. But you know what? In his defense, I mean, this is how changed a person Payne was the last 2 years of his life. He didn't let that, get to him, so to speak. He just kind of brushed it off. It was a bad pin.
Mad.
It was a bad pin. I mean, listen, but that green, they were in their defense. They had nowhere to put those pins on. I mean, they've redone it now.
Right.
So now in their defense, the speed of the greens that day, it was just an awful pin. And Tom Meeks, who was running the USGA, setting up the courses back then, and he admitted to it. It was just a bad pin. But he, that 98 tournament, that's why we won here.
Right.
Is because he proved to himself that he could still compete at a high level in a major championship, and the U.S. Open was his favorite tournament,
Mm-hmm.
So, he got up for this week, and in 98 proved to himself that he could still do it. I mean, we had the lead all week till the last 3 holes or whatever it was, 2 holes.
About Payne, and people know what happened. About 5 months later. I thought he was becoming this was his like a second wind in his career, and I thought he had learned how to channel all of his skills into winning, and I was of the mind that this was going to be a regular thing for him. It wasn't just going to be a one-off. Wasn't just going to win the U.S. Open and then not win other majors. He was still a young man. He was going to win more.
Right. Well, we came out in 99. His contract was over with Top Flight. So we had no deal. He had no deal. No club deal, no bad deal, no nothing. He showed up. I flew to Orlando in January, early January. He picked me up at the airport. We went straight to Edwin Watts' golf shop. And he said, pick out a golf bag. I said, what? He said, yeah, just don't make it too small. But you don't have to get a big one. So I got this medium-sized double strap thing, and that is what I carried for the first 5 months of the year. He put Mizuno irons in.
Okay.
He had a Titleist driver. He had a Mizuno 3-wood. He played a Titleist golf ball, which is what he had played his whole life.
Right.
And then the first 4 weeks of that year, he played great, but he couldn't putt it in the ocean. And then lo and behold, Arnie Cunningham, who's a longtime rep out here, shows up with the Seymour putter.
Seymour putter.
We putted. He shows it to us on Wednesday before we went out for a 9-hole practice round. We came back in. He went down to the putting green at the lodge down at Pebble Beach. We putted for 2 hours. He comes. He hands it to me. He's tired. He says, let's go. We're done. He said, what do you think? I said, well, look, you can't putt any worse than we've been putting. So he threw it in the bag, and we won. Won the tournament. Putted great. And that was really – Payne was always a a good putter, streaky, but a
Right.
good putter. You don't win the tournaments he won and not be a good putter. But he had become a great putter with the Seymour. So that is one thing, playing what he wants to play, playing the ball he wants to play, and now we've got a putter. I mean, gosh, look at our record. I think we lost in a playoff at Hilton Head. He played great that whole year, very consistent. And then we get here and it all came together.
It absolutely did. Mike Hicks is joining us here at Pinehurst. So when you think back, what do you think back about the putt on 18, or do you think back about other things that happened during that round or that week?
Well, I think back, the up and down he made on 9, that last round was unbelievable.
That's a diabolical hole.
Diabolical hole
when the
location.
pin is on the right.
Yeah, and the bogey that he made on the second hole on Sunday. Payne never carried a yardage book. That week in '99, he had a yardage book in his back pocket because he had gone around on Saturday before. We missed the cut in Memphis. He came here Saturday. I came here Saturday. We didn't see each other Saturday. I did my work. He walked around with a putter and a wedge with his swing coach, and he marked in red where you could not play from.
Right.
And he hit it in one of those red areas once, and that was the second hole on Sunday, and he had to make an 8-footer for bogey on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he comes right back on 3 and hits it 6 inches from the hole. So, we birdied 1, bogeyed 2, and then birdied 3 to get right back on it. And it's a funny story. That morning when I left Mebane, I said to my wife, I said, if we make 4 birdies today, we'll win the tournament. And we made 4 birdies.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And one was not the last hole.
That's right.
Look, I've played this course enough. I played 2 enough. Where did he miss on 2? Where can you not miss?
Right. Short and right. Can't miss there.
It's impossible.
Impossible.
Because the pin is going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be there. I mean, it was just I want to say, I think he chipped it up. It came back to him, and then he hit an unbelievable chip to get it 8 feet.
Yeah.
And then holds that putt for bogey. And listen, another thing that you'll find, and I'm not sure if this is, I'm just coming off the cuff here, but if you look back at the history of the U.S. Open, the guys that win this tournament, they don't give 2 shots or more away on a hole. You can go back in history. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that, but if you don't give any more than 1 away throughout the course of the week, no doubles, no others, you're going to have a good shot to win if you can sprinkle in a birdie or 2 here and there. It's the guys that make double or worse that don't have a chance to win this tournament.
Scotty Scheffler made a triple last week and won.
Yeah.
I mean, at Memorial.
Right.
How much better is Scotty right now than the field?
I think I don't think it's as far as everybody wants people to believe. I think Xander, Xander held the putts coming down the stretch to win the PGA.
You did.
And that was his bugaboo, not being able to make the putts coming down the stretch. Now, I think that's a hurdle he's gotten over. Now, I think Scotty tee to green is more consistent than Xander is. Xander, sometimes don't strike it as well. But if Xander is on and has that confidence this week with the putter, I think, Xander could be right there with him. But I think Scotty's these 3-1 or whatever it is. But, he hits it straight. He controls his distances, and mentally he's just better than all of them.
I was talking about this with, I think it was Jason Sobel yesterday. Spoke to Curtis Strange. You worked with Curtis Strange.
Yeah.
Curtis on Monday was great. The thing about Scotty is that he doesn't seem stressed ever.
Yeah.
He never seems like he's under, like the heat of the moment doesn't get to him.
Right.
I think Rory's got probably the most talent.
Yeah.
But I think Rory wears the moment too much.
Rory, and I'll say this about Rory. Rory, he's not that good a putter. Listen, it goes back to making putts, buddy.
Mhm.
That's what the bottom line at this level is who makes putts.
I don't think he's that much worse than Scotty.
Scotty's now become, he's like Payne was. That transformation has gone from good.
And Rory did it. Rory told him to
great.
use a mallet putter.
That's right. How about that? That's
Rory is
unheard of.
ruining the day. He did that.
But I think Rory's whole issue is, he doesn't have his control of his ball with the irons like Scotty does.
Doesn't.
And listen, I'm going to tell you this: Ted Scott, without question, one of the best to ever do it. Great player in his own
you would
right.
know caddies.
Yes, and listen, both those guys are Christians.
They are.
They're both at peace in their life. This is not the most important thing to them, and that's how they look out there.
Right.
They're at peace. The moment's not too big. The mistakes aren't shown. Physically, mentally, they're at peace with themselves, and it shows.
Yeah. Ted Scott controlled Bubba Watson.
That's right.
To win. I mean, you do that.
Yeah, you got that right.
You should get a Nobel.
Absolutely.
For that. But before we talk a little hockey, tell me about the Tour Caddy Collective.
Okay, so Tour Caddy Collective is, we bring in a panel of 3 caddies, and we have a really nice pool of guys. Most of them are retired now, and we'll set up 3 stations, a couple of hitting bays, with not the rubber balls, not the real balls. And we give lessons for about 45 minutes. I usually handle the putting, and whoever's with me, we have Jimmy Johnson, Damon Green, Fluff.
Damon Green and caddied for Zach Johnson for a long time.
Exactly. So we have
another Seymour putter guy.
Exactly. So we have a big, nice pool of guys, and we give lessons, and then we do an hour and a half of Q&A, and that's usually they have to cut it off.
You guys are telling stories.
We're telling stories, and you get the inside scoop of what's going on in professional golf. So anybody out there that's looking to entertain their clients, we've done work for First Citizens. I'm actually entertaining the Deloitte people here this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're not doing a panel thing; it's just going to be me. But we did a one in Charlottesville about a month ago for a hedge fund company, and these people, it's crazy. We did the show, but last year they had NFL referees come in, so they do these.
Oh, wow.
They do these off the chart programs for their clients.
That's awesome.
And it was a phenomenal group of people. They're out of Salt Lake City, Utah, but we did one for them, and then like I said, we've done a lot for First Citizens Bank. A lot of their clients, wealth management people that we've worked with.
Very cool. Tour Caddy Collective.
Tour Caddy Collective.
All right. Now that you don't live in the area, I know you're a Hurricanes fan, and I do pregame and post.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get you to start listening to the Canes Corner podcast, which I do.
I will.
All right.
For sure.
So we got close, but not close enough.
Goaltending, man. It's
Yeah.
goaltending. 5-on-5, we were better than they were. And then,
I agree.
And then at least one softie every single game.
Yeah.
We're up 3-1. We're dominating the first 5 minutes of that third period against the Rangers in Game 6. Dominating. I'm like, all right, because you do it. If you know hockey, sometimes your team, with that kind of a lead, they'll sit on it.
Mhm.
But we weren't. We were going for it. Hit the post, missed the breakaway.
Hit the post twice.
Missed the breakaway, and then Freddie gives up the chip in.
Oh my gosh.
And then that was it. So I've said this, and if Freddie Anderson, if you're listening to it, we ain't going to win with you in net.
Going right at him.
It's time to go.
I don't think he's listening in Denmark. I think he's back in Denmark now.
Probably not, but we're time to cut the cord there. I think Kochekov's our guy. And I'll tell you what, you look at all the great goalies over time, play your guy. If your number one guy is 23 years old, let him play 60 games. That's what he's getting paid for. This back and forth stuff, alternating goalies.
Going right at Rod here.
I'm going at Rod. I'm not a big fan of that, man. Let your guy be your goaltender. All the great ones played at least 60 games in the course of a year. If you got a back-to-back, you let your other guy play. But, if there's a day or two in between games, your number one plays. That's how he's going to get better.
Yeah, I've talked about this so many times. I think that there was something about, I don't think Rod had complete trust in Kochetkov.
Yeah, I would see that.
Right.
I mean, look at the one goal. The guy throws it in from the center line that one game, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, but in the playoffs, in the one game he played, it was Game 3 against the Rangers.
he played great.
Well,
I thought he
the
played.
second goal was not a good goal, but I think that got to Rod.
Yeah,
and because he didn't use him at all in the Islander series, and I think he should have.
yeah.
And I've said this before, so Rod might be listening right now. So that's Mike Hicks who came after you, Rod.
Sorry, Rod, but yeah, I love
Sorry.
you, brother. I'm glad you're with us for however many years you got you, because I love you. You're the greatest coach in the NHL.
It's too late. It's too late. Rod just heard you slam the decision to not use Kochetkov. Is life good for you in the mountains of Tennessee?
It is. It is. I love it over there. There's not many people compared to here in North Carolina now.
We got
My
a lot of people.
A lot of people here now. I mean, I grew up here, and boy, I'll tell you what, I don't even recognize the place when I come back. So I love it over there. It's peaceful. It's, kind of, we're up in elevation, so it's not as hot. A little colder in the winter, but
It's fine.
It's all good. But I love it over there. I love it. I'm a member at a 1913 Tillinghast.
Oh, really?
Called the Johnson City Country Club. And
Very nice.
Cards, let me tell you, it is sweet. $6,500 from the tips, but it's all you want once you get to the green.
All right, who's winning this week?
I'm going to go with Scotty.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah,
everybody's going, Scotty.
I mean, I'm going to go with him. I mean,
That's why the number's coming down.
Yeah, he's got the most control of his ball, and listen, you are going to have to deal with a lot of adversity this week, and you can't let it get to you. I mean, I cannot imagine playing a U.S. Open on these greens with them being Bermuda grass. I just can't imagine it. I'm glad I'm not involved in it.
Under par wins?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Even?
The USGA could, if they want to, 7 over a win, if they want it to. I'm not sure how they're going to set it up. They could make it, wing foot if they wanted to.
From when Irwin won in 79?
Yeah, 7 over, I think he shot. But they could go that route. I'm not sure they will. Your good scores are going to be in the morning when there's still just a bit of moisture on the course.
Right.
The afternoon scores, forget it. Ain't going to happen. You ain't going to see many red.
Yeah, Rory goes out in the afternoon. I'm Team Rory, but I know he's not going to win. Rory did say, and we'll let you go here, whatever the score is, the leading score tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow, that'll be enough to win.
I would agree. If anybody's going to bust par, it'll be tomorrow.
So,
yeah.
Mike Hicks, former caddy of Payne Stewart and others, thank you so much. It was good to see you.
Hey, man, good to see you.
We'll talk during the break. We'll come right
Absolutely.
back and rewind it next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Avant Articulated Loaders for the right equipment to help get your work done. Avant makes the most multifunctional loaders in the world. Whether you're a landscaping pro or homeowner serious about property maintenance, you need an Avant loader. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized Avant dealer for sales, service, part, and rentals. Visit one of our 7 locations or actce.com for more details about Avant Articulated Loaders. ACT Construction Equipment, always the right equipment for the job.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power. Whether you're home or away, power your life with a Generac home standby generator. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
Deep in the Sandhills sits a North Carolina gem, Pinehurst. Uncover the stories behind this legendary golf destination in the new PBS NC special. It's a beautiful day in Pinehurst. Step onto its hallowed grounds, where golf's greatest players have made history, and learn what sets Pinehurst apart, from its humble origins to its modern-day status as the cradle of American golf. Stream It's a Beautiful Day in Pinehurst for free now on the PBS app.
Think it's too pricey to pursue your interest and earn a degree? Well, if you're a North Carolinian from a household making $80,000 or less, think again. The Next NC Scholarship could cover more than half, if not all, of your tuition and fees at any NC community college or public university. This is money that doesn't have to be repaid. The Next NC Scholarship helps you know what you're getting because it combines federal and state-funded financial aid to form a new, simplified award. We're talking at least $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for a public university, making the cost of education more manageable. The Next NC Scholarship also helps you know where you're going because you could see how much you could get to pay for the schools you're interested in. So picking the right path for you and your future is now easier than ever. Applying is as simple as filling out the FAFSA. Dig into the details at nextncscholarship.org. The Next NC Scholarship. Know what you're getting, know where you're going.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Our public power providers in North Carolina keep the power on 99.9% of the time. That averages out to be less than 1 hour a year without power. Public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. They are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
This is Adam Gold.
We had lightning hit a pretty large tree.
Oh, yeah.
About 150 yards from the house. It'll be my sign to go win the lottery. But you know what? I'm sorry, I can't. I have rules. If it's not over $1 billion, I'm not playing.
Yeah, still just millions.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Thanks for indulging me as I talk to my friend Mike Hicks, Payne Stewart's caddy in 1999. It is one of the most iconic moments in I'd say in modern U.S. Open golf history. 25 years ago, it is the anniversary of that, the 25th anniversary. I don't know how they're going to keep the statue where it is now because I think it's on the first hole of the number 1 course here at Pinehurst. So I don't know how that's going to work, but who knows? Maybe it will. All right, we'll talk a little bit more golf. I was told via a text message to go back to talking golf. So we will do that in the rewind.
Ooh, did somebody get busted?
Yeah. Somebody might have. It was very funny. I can't say the rest of it, but yes, somebody got busted. All right, let's get to it. Chip Patterson joined us right here. Normally we do these things over video, but right here, Chip Patterson sat down and we talked about who's going to win this tournament. It is Scotty's to win, right?
You have to approach if Scotty, and then if not Scotty, then who? That's right. The very first question when you're going to think about who's going to win this tournament. First, the if Scotty, the reasons why you would buy into it. There was
still plus 280, by the way.
Is that at FanDuel Sportsbook? Make every moment more.
Yes, as a matter of fact, plus 280.
Yeah, so I think that his short game is overlooked and underrated. I think that
I don't know why anybody would overlook or underrate it. He's not an amazing putter, but he doesn't have to be.
And that's where I think about some of the conversations that you hear between him and Ted Scott, and everything is about minimizing mistakes, and being successful at Pinehurst is about minimizing mistakes.
Right.
I was out there. Scotty was playing with JT, and I was watching all the different places around the par 3 6th. Looking at
I hate that hole.
Looking at all the different places where they could land if they are not going to hold it, and then developing their game plan for what they're going to be. And everything is just about just give yourself a decent par putt, and minimize the mistakes. You are going to take bogeys. And then, statistically anywhere, he's one of the best on PGA Tour this season in the bounce back statistic.
Yes.
You follow a bogey. He follows a bogey with a birdie, I think 51% of the time.
That's gross.
That's incredible.
That's gross.
So everyone wants to do with their round is have the bounce
and
back.
he doesn't make a lot of bogeys. He's had, what is it now, 3 over par rounds this year? Is it 3? 3, yeah, because he won with an over par round.
Right.
So I think he might have had 2 over par rounds at Memorial. But he won with an over par, I think 3 over par rounds all year. He had like 80% of his rounds were in the 60s this year.
Which is why you actually have to go ahead and buy at 280, because that might be the best price that you're going to have.
It was 320 Monday, and I couldn't believe it. Honestly, we are entering into, and I'm not trying to say that Scotty Scheffler is Tiger Woods, because it's not about is he as good as Tiger Woods. You play your field. So in relation to the field, we have entered Scotty versus the field territory.
Correct.
And there was a time where Woods was essentially even money to win a major championship, where it was basically, plus 100, minus 110, whatever it was, to win a major. And you're like, how can that be?
There's 156 competitors.
Right. But it was still the smarter bet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting, I hate to make everything about wagering, but
we'll see.
He's plus money.
This is where I do enjoy the offerings at FanDuel Sportsbook, because then you can also get into winner without Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
And so that does get us into the next part. If not Scotty, then who? Because Michael Campbell beat Tiger Woods during a Tiger versus the field era. There are a lot of possibilities, but I think that, if Xander at every single U.S. Open, literally that he's ever started, has a good finish.
He's top. Worst finish is 14th at a U.S. Open.
Colin Morikawa, top 5 at both the Masters and PGA.
I think he's the best other choice.
I'm going to be on CBS Sports Network in the 2:00 hour, and I have to do a pick and a sleeper. And Colin is.
Do you have a sport coat or no?
No, I think that I'm going to be okay
because you're here.
Because I'm here,
right? Yeah.
That was my argument. That was my argument for sport coat. That was my argument for pants. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Have you ever been in the Sandhills in June?
You cannot wear pants.
You can't wear pants. So the other thing, Colin's short game in terms of around the green has been surging this season, and it was once something that was a little bit of a liability. High ball flight, can spin it. Can get lots of different shots into these greens. I saw him on Monday. I wasn't here yet, but I saw footage of him with the 3-wood out around the green. I like when I see that creativity.
Yep.
He's got all the tools. It is not a controversial thing to pick Colin Morikawa.
No.
But when you're asking me among that group there at the top, I'm going to go with Colin.
All right. We have more from Chip Patterson. I'm watching a little bit of the footage here on Golf Channel as they're kind of going around the course. The native area, the sandy area with the native grasses, it's much more filled in than I thought it would be. Now, there are places that are mostly sand, but there are also several stretches of the natural area which has a lot, like more native grass and wiry grass than it does sandy area. I actually thought when we were down here for the media day, I thought that they were going to ultimately get rid of all that. But nope, they've let it grow. So it's not going to be, more often than not, you'll be fine. You're going to have a lot of interesting shots, maybe a lot of situations where there's no shot off the fairway. But the fairways are wide. So these guys are going to hit a lot more fairways than they normally would. All right, I asked this because this is a bigger picture question about the USGA essentially calling Pinehurst home, because Chip is from this area, or not? He's from Raleigh, but his family has a place down here, and he spent a ton of time in the Sandhills. I asked him if he ever thought that this would be such a home base.
No, and this is where I do think that
Are the natives mad?
I think it was really intentional, and this has been in the works. I think that what they saw with the renovation in 2011, hosting the event in 2014, it was as though light bulbs went off.
Yeah.
And they realized the attractiveness of Pinehurst and the village and the golf to the American golf public, and to make things more public. And you even think about how Pinehurst Country Club used to be more country club, and now I think it is more resort and country club. You think about the Deuce, you think about Thistledew, the putting green, the Cradle. All these creations are not meant to be stuffy, transfusions flowing everywhere. They are not meant to be exclusive. The barrier for entry is just get your body to Pinehurst, and then you can live all of your wildest Pinehurst golf dreams. And so I don't know exactly where the credit goes there, but having come down here as often as I have with my family, that is the thing that I've seen. And I do tie it back to sort of everything that happened leading up to the 14 U.S. Open, and then them just realizing exactly how many people really treasure this place. And now we're going to have it, every 5, 6, 7
10
years.
minutes.
Yeah.
A couple of other things about golf, and something we didn't talk about today, and I was intentional about not talking about it. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on the relationship between LIV and the PGA Tour. But Mike Wan, who is the United States Golf Association Executive Director, or CEO, at his press conference today, talked about the potential of a pathway for LIV players to qualify for the U.S. Open through performance on that tour. Now, he was very careful to say, I have not thought that far about it, so we don't know what it would look like. So we also don't know if it would happen. Here's what I would think. I would think that the major championships would probably get together and do something, while the criteria for qualification would not necessarily be the same. I do think that you'll see, if something like this happens, I think it will be more of a collaborative effort between the United States Golf Association, the PGA of America, and the Masters, as well as the R&A. Right now, there's no way for LIV players to qualify through their events. Now, the U.S. Open is an open qualification system. Any player, any golfer who meets the skill qualification can qualify. You can go through the process and qualify. And remember, this is not about a PGA Tour thing. And we were talking to Curtis Strange earlier in the week about the path back, and he was anti-path back for LIV. He was very, very much against those players playing in PGA Tour events. And that's like the Players' Championship. That is a pathway that Curtis Strange does not want to see opened up. But the majors are run separately. They're run individually, and they are run separately. And the majors do want the best fields. Of course, there's really not a whole lot of difference between this field this year and this field 3 years ago. Same quality of field. Victoria, I thank you very much. Hope you got that text I sent you. I'm Adam Gold. Thanks to Dennis Cox for getting us on the air here. Thanks to the USGA. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the golf. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Bye.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Okay, let me tell you about one of my absolute favorite hangout spots. Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker, and Norse Brewing Company in Wake Forest is a place you need to check out. There's also Norse Brewing Longhouse in Zebulon, which is just as amazing, but both locations offer mouth-watering Southern food.